Welcome in, everyone, to another edition of the CVCC Coach Show here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, and we have a great show in store for you today. We're going to be with all four CVCC coaches. We got Coach Richardson right here, the head girls coach, women's coach. We got the head men's coach, Coach Mo Scott, joining us right after, and then we got Coach Osteen making his first appearance, and Coach Hunter Vick making his first appearance. Those are the softball and baseball coaches. So we're looking forward to having all y'all in here. Coach Richardson, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you guys for having me.
All right. Since last time we talked, you have not lost a conference game. You're undefeated in conference play, 15-6. You actually just lost your first game after having a 9-game winning streak. But before we talk about that game, I want you to talk about this year's season and the trials and tribulations between the on-court scuffle that had a couple players suspended, and we're not going to get into here either. How all that went down. I may not agree with the coach, but it's what happened. You got to overcome it. Injuries. You play with 6 players on Monday night. Talk about how this has been an up and down season, but yet you're still first place in the conference.
Well, we were definitely proud of the girls and their effort that they gave against East Georgia. It was a big game for not only us. The fans actually came out, and the gym was loud, and it was really good basketball. I thought our girls fed off our team, our energy from our fans and support. That's all you can ask of them. We gave it our best shot, and we really controlled the game up until the last 4 minutes of the game when Zai went out. That kind of took a little bit of the wind out of our sails, so to speak. But as far as the season, we're really happy with the girls. This is what we told them when we recruited them, that we're trying to make history here. Number 25 in the country. Wow. That speaks for itself.
Yes, sir.
So the girls have done an outstanding job. We've had that next man up mentality. We've had all the injury you want to have, from your starting point guard to your starting 4-man second leading scorer in Jada Landers. Went down with a knee injury. Having a great freshman year, averaging right at 10 points a game, controlling the game for us, down with an injury. But the girls have come back together, and we keep reconforming ourselves and just making a way out of no way.
Yeah, no doubt, Coach. And you talked about several players that Jada was averaging 10 points a game that, had to overcome that. But you know what? The main source has been Zai Thompson. 15 points a game. She's going to be the player of the year, unanimous player of the year. I'm putting this out there. She doesn't win player of the year. There's something wrong, and I'll call the front office for the ACC Division II. But talk about what kind of sophomore season she's had, helping lead your team to an undefeated conference.
She is actually a freshman.
I forgot that she is not.
She's actually
a freshman because she was injured last year, so she's only a freshman.
But right now, it's the gift and the curse. Her success breeds her success off the court as well. She has about 6 Division I offers, so we probably won't get her next year. So,
you're taking advantage of it right now.
Yeah, we got to take advantage of it now because it don't look like we're going to be able to keep her. Even though she says she's still thinking about coming back, she needs to work on a few things before she gets there. So, but she's been great. All of the girls have been great. This has been a good working group. They put up with me, so they gotta be something special. We jump up and down a lot, but they're starting to realize and figure out what we've been trying to do, and they kind of say it on their own now. I don't have to really talk much anymore, like you do in the preseason and early on, because they know the expectation. They set the expectations for themselves. When we first sat down, I got a little piece of paper in my office of the goals that the girls put down, and one of them was undefeated in the regular season conference, win a state championship. So we're right on track for our goals. And the other one was we want to be one of the best defensive teams in the state, and we are. The girls, it's all them. I'm just here enjoying the show just like everybody else.
And Coach, I'm going to give you more credit than that. What you've done with this program, and now in year 2, having them right on par to win that state championship that you want. You got 3 more games left. You're probably going to play with 6 players again coming up here tomorrow against Coastal Alabama North, and then you got Wallace Community College on the road, and then you finish up sophomore night next Monday against Coastal Alabama. What do you want to see from your team and keeping that undefeated and conference play streak still alive in the next couple games?
And that's really important to us. We want to, you know, when we train, even starting out in the weight room, we trained for dominance. We wanted to dominate. We didn't just want to win. We wanted to dominate. So going into on the road, I'm excited to see what these 6 girls can do. We showed them just the other night that, hey, don't underestimate us because we got 6 girls. But those 6 girls can play. And they're going to play together, and they're going to play hard. And if you don't have the same, then you're going to get beat with those 6 girls. So
can you talk about that East Georgia game and East Georgia being one of the top junior colleges in Georgia? They win state almost every year. For that, the fact that you kept it close, kept it competitive, again, with only 6 girls, I know you got to be proud of how your team played.
Oh, yeah. We with about 4.5 minutes to go, we were up 2 or 4 points in the game. That we got up. First off, it was, of course, a game of waves. We opened the door and jumped ball. They went up like 9-0. We had to call a timeout. But then once that first shot go down and the crowd kind of gets involved and the girls start getting a little pep in their step, and we went up, I think, as much as 8 or 9 points. I think halftime we was up 5. And like I said, we controlled the game most of the way, but Visha fouled out on us, and Zai got hurt. We had to finish it with 4, and we just couldn't get it done. We ran out of gas. But, I mean, like you said before, this is a team that wins the state of Georgia, defending state champions now. For our girls to come out and show what we got and show that we you know, the resiliency of just the fight of that these girls showed. I think I've had several text messages from fans, from girls' moms, and they're just super excited and proud of how we fought. You know, and we didn't have that quit. Now, when we get our other people back, which is right after this game, and I think we'll get right back to rolling.
Coach, you got the conference tournament coming up next week. What is your message to your team, especially when you get the full team back, to not be complacent and to finish what you started? Because it'd be, and this happens, especially in tournament basketball. You can go undefeated in the regular season and lose the first game of the tournament.
It happens all the time. You know, I just feel like our girls, you know, we always talk about being hungry. We always talk about not being satisfied. You know, and sometimes you hear me at practice ramping and raving, you ain't did nothing. What have you done? You know, so you know that plays a part in it too. But I think we have a hungry group that want to prove that they belong and they want to make history. And that's one of the things we talked about early in preseason. Let's go make history. Let's go put a state banner up on that wall. And I think that's our focus. One game at a time, one play at a time. And you know, and these girls have taken it as far as going one practice at a time. They practice their butt off. So that's the kind of kids we need. You know, you got to think about it. I recruit a little different. These girls that we have, they didn't have any other scholarships but CV. But we turned them into what they are today. And now these girls, like Summer Hicks, has several offers. Journey has several 4-year offers. Even some of our freshmen like Gabby, they have offers to 4-year as freshmen. Nia Lee has offers. And of course, Zai Thompson has, you know, she's going to be able to pick her school.
And it's a gift and a curse. It's a gift that you're undefeated, but the curse is everybody's going to want your players now. Coach is like, you got to do it all over again.
You got to do it all
next year. But again, undefeated in conference play, 15-6. Coach Richardson is looking to bring home that state championship. Now let's talk about on Monday specifically, because it's the last home game of the season. This is the cry to the community. Why they need to come out for sophomore night and put a kind of bow on what has been a great regular season for y'all.
Please come out and support us. This is a great group of girls. They have represented themselves in this college very well. We would love to see everybody come out. If you're a high school coach, I'll be reaching out to you and see if you can bring your whole team. It's free. Come on out and support us. We have 3 sophomores, Niall Lee, Journey Carter Ransom, and Summer Hicks that will be getting celebrated Monday. These girls have done an excellent job on and off the court. And I just think it's going to be a great game. I mean, it's a celebration for them.
No doubt about it. Our coach, thank you so much again for joining us.
Thank you.
We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we got more of the CVC Coaches Show here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
My name is Quinteria Perry, and this is my CVCC story. I've graduated from CVCC with my associates in medical assistant, and I received my certification from CVCC. The training that I got from CVC and being prepared to come and do clinicals helped tremendously. I started looking at scholarships, and the Ambassador Scholarship was interesting to me because you did events to earn your scholarship and you meet people. My favorite part about my job is meeting patients every day. They will crack me up every day. They make my day better. I would recommend CVCC to anyone that asks because of the scholarships, the teachers, the small stuff that you can't get at a university. They actually take the time out for each student.
Welcome back to the CVCC Coach Show here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, and I'm with Coach Mo Scott. Coach, thank you so much for joining us.
Appreciate you having me.
Coach, I was taken aback, to be honest with you, because Reed State came in last week. And when I turned the game on in the first half, because I was actually calling a high school region game at the time, and I saw that y'all were down, by 10 points or more in that first half. And I'm like, geez, just maybe a kind of a tough one. Reed State, one of the top 4 teams in the conference. The second half, you just played like your hair's on fire, man, and ended up winning that game by double digits. What did that mean for you and your program? And you think that kind of maybe helped y'all with confidence as you head to the back half and maybe even conference play, tournament play?
Yeah, I really believe, to be honest, Monday night really helped us a lot.
Yeah.
I thought our team came together Monday against Enterprise. And so Thursday.
Big win.
And, you lose the game. We lost in overtime on Monday against Enterprise, but the guys played well. That was probably the best we played all season.
Right.
And then we come back on Thursday, like you said, against Reed State. And, they're a tough team. They 4th in the league. They playing really good basketball at that particular time. And we actually playing without, Days Jean in that game. So JD is out, and we thinking man, that's going to be a tough one. But guys ball in, played hard. And even though we were down early, we still felt like we were still in the game. At any moment, we could break through if we just stayed the course. And guys kind of just stayed the course, and it kind of turned for us. And we hit a couple shots. And that's what it's all about. Guys just believing they can knock down shots, knock down some open shots. But unfortunately, in that game, we won the game, but we kind of lost the war because we lost a guy that hit 4 threes in that game. And so now he's out for a little while. So we don't know when we'll get him back either. So now we're down 2 more bodies. So
always that injury bug, man, especially in this time of the season. But you're 5-8 in conference play. You've had several games. The one you just talked about against Enterprise went down the wire. You lost in overtime on the road. There have been several games that could have been games that you end up winning. I mean, you're very easily could be 10-3 right now than you are 5-8. That's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. But what's your thought about your guys here in year one and how this year has gone and all the injuries and everything you've had to overcome? I felt like it's been a successful season for establishing your culture, Coach, here in this first year.
Well, it's been good. I think these guys have bought in now and kind of know what we want here.
Right.
To be a part of our program, and they're playing together and they're enjoying playing together now.
Right.
They finally figuring out you have to play a certain way at the college level. You just can't run out there and play and be the best guy on the floor all the time.
Don't work like that anymore.
Nah, it don't work like that. You have to use your IQ. You have to play a lot smarter,
right?
And play more together and utilize your teammates more. And these guys are kind of figuring it out, and that's what I'm appreciative of.
Right.
Them allowing me to coach them and to be coached, because sometimes you get teams that you're uncoachable. Then it's tough sledding a lot of the way through, but these guys have stuck it out, stayed in there, and allowed me to coach. So and they're growing as we go.
No doubt about it. All right, so we're talking about some of the key contributors. We'll get to Mike Hoover in a minute, but talk about what Jared Days Jean has meant here in his first season. He's your second leading scorer. He does all the little things right. It's like his motor's on 100 miles an hour all the time. And I hate to hear about his injury. We hope we can come back here before the end of the season. But his progression you got to be pleased with the way he's coming along.
Oh, yeah, definitely. He's one of those guys that everybody wants to root for because he's such a great kid off the court.
Right.
But yeah, he's turning it around and he's playing with a lot of aggression now. We had to get him going like that this season because early in the season he wouldn't allow himself to just play.
Right.
And that happens with a lot of freshmen. You know, like I told everybody, I talked to buddies of mine at Division I level. They used to tell me like, dude, like why are you complaining about this kid? Like when you coach freshmen at Division I level, you never played them.
Yeah,
because they
never saw the court.
They never saw the court because they couldn't figure it out.
Right.
You know, and then their sophomore year, towards the end of their freshman year, they may figure it out. You can sprinkle them out there.
Right.
So it just took him a while to figure out and get in his zone, and now he's playing a lot better and playing like the player we thought he could be.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
But Micah Hoover, the sophomore, he's putting up 15 and 9. Should be an all-conference type player. What has he meant for you and the leadership and helping being part of that foundation group here in your first season?
Well, you know, he's been out this whole time as well. So he's been out. He stepped away from the team, just some personal things that he has going on. So he's been away from the team as well for the last like 5 games.
Holy smokes.
So yeah, so
that is a lot that you haven't overcome.
So we've been playing without him and Silver. They both kind of had to step away for personal reasons for a while from the team. And you know, you wish them the best of what they're doing. You know, Hoover, of course, he was our leading scorer, so he's still getting calls about playing and stuff like that.
Right.
But those 2 guys being out really hurt.
Well, then who's been taking on the new role?
The new role is, well, with Jared Days Jean he took a super role. Like these when he was back, when those guys were out, he had several games where he was like 20 and 18. Yeah. So he started rebounding more. He started scoring more, of course. And the Cameron Fowler has come along now.
And he's a third leading scorer on the team.
And now he's picked up the slack. So, and then we get a combination of guys that just show up on different nights. You know, one night we had the night kids show up. One night we had, you know, Cameron Carroll show up. So now we're just doing it by committee with that third guy. So, which is a good feel that these guys have, you know, bought into playing together, and now I got to step my game up a little bit. So it's going pretty good so far.
You got 2 games against the top team in the conference. At Coastal, Alabama on Thursday. You got Wallace on Saturday, and then you take on Coastal, Alabama for sophomore night here on Monday. What do you want to see from your team here as you put a bow on the regular season and get you some confidence heading into conference tournament play?
Well, just continue to play the way we've been playing. I think the way we've been playing here these last couple of games has been really exciting. It's been fun to coach. You can see the development of the players. And that's the best part, man, when you can see the development, see guys getting better, learning, and now they're able to go out there and make plays because now they don't have to think as much because they're playing a little freer because they know what to expect out there on the floor.
Right.
And they're taking the scouting report and putting it out there into use, and it works, and then they can kind of flourish in their own game. So that's the thing. If we can stay the course, stand to the scouting report, don't get out of character, that's what you want to see out of your team. And it's tougher now because, like we say, we got the injuries and guys out.
Yeah.
So now different guys got to take on different roles to be successful. I just hope they don't take it too far with their role.
You know how it is, man. They want to put that Superman cape on and a whole different man. But, Coach, sophomore night on Monday. This is, again, same thing I said with Coach Richardson. This is the final home game of the regular season for all your sophomores out there that'll be moving on to the next level, wherever they're going to do with their life. This is their final time playing with a CVCC uniform here at Key Hall Gymnasium. Tell everyone why they need to come out, show support for what should be a fun night against the number 1 team in the conference.
Oh, yeah. For starters, it's the number 1 team in the conference. They'll be still competing and battling, trying to, you know, get first place. We'll be competing and battling to try to,
get 4th right there.
We get in the middle of the pack. And, you know, you got to have some confidence going into the conference tournament.
Right.
You know, you kind of want to have a little juice. And winning a game like that against one of the top teams in the league would be, you know, impressive if we could pull that one out. So it'll be a lot of excitement in the air. You know, got a really good team coming in. So I think it'll be a fun one.
Yeah, can't wait for it. And, Coach, I'm going to be on the call next week. So
there you go.
Cannot blame me if anything goes bad. I promise you, I'm going to try to be the good luck charm. His name is Mo Scott. Thank you so much, Coach. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk with Hunter Vick, the head baseball coach here, making his inaugural appearance on the CVCC Coaches Show.
Hi, my name is Griff Gordy, And here at Gordy Eye Care, we have been serving the Bi-City community for 17 years. As a former state championship quarterback, I love the fact that I can watch local high school athletics from the comfort of my own home. So it was a no-brainer to support Georgia Alabama Sports Live and what they do for young athletes in our area.
And without business like yourself, Gordy Eye Care, none of our coverage would be possible. To be able to cover the 16 different high schools, the local colleges, and professional teams. So we'd like to say thank you to you, Dr. Griff Gordy, and Gordy Eye Care for your support of Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And you can make an appointment today at Gordy Eye Care with the number 334-291-5125. Keep supporting Gordy Eye Care and keep watching Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Are you looking for a great deal on a powerful new Chevrolet or GMC full-size truck? Check them out. Chevy Silverado and GMC Sierra side by side at Glenn Smith in Opelika, Alabama. Take your choice. A brand new 2024 Chevrolet and GMC 1500 trucks, discounted up to $15,000 off, or 0% financing, plus no payments till springtime. Here at Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika, get ready to smile.
Welcome back to the CVCC Coach Show here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, presented by Alabama Power, Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC, Buffalo Rock Pepsi, and, of course, Kinetic Credit Union, and Gordy Eye Care, who Coach Scott said he was going to go see. So shout out to Griff Gordy and Gordy Eye Care getting a client because of Georgia Alabama Sports Live. I am here with now the baseball coach of CVCC. His name is Hunter Vick. Coach Vick, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
All right, Coach. We talked to you before the season started at Media Day. You were excited about this year. And then, of course, just like it seemed like with the basketball, both teams, the injury bug hit you. So we'll start there. Talk about the injury to one of your key players, who he is, and when you hopefully that you'll think he may be back here before the end of the season.
Yeah, we've been hit by the injury bug huge here recently. A week before the season started, we lost our shortstop closer, Kenyon Meeks, that, probably, he's just a shutdown arm for us. And, basically with the season starting,
right.
That's kind of been our problem. We've been trying to find that guy that could come in and close that game out.
Right.
But, I thought our guys have played really well. We just hadn't been able to close, and that's been my biggest message to the team is, we're still looking, we're trying to find that guy to come in and close.
And Coach, you talked about it. You played Florida Southwestern State, number one team in the country. Both times you lost by 1 run. You lost in 10 innings the first time you played them. And is that, I guess, going back to your point, the biggest message with the team? You're showing you can play with anybody in the country. You have the talent, the hitting. You just got to be able to finish games. Is that what y'all been kind of like focused on, especially with your bullpen on keeping runs and keeping leads so you can finish off these games against top-notch opponents like Florida State?
Yeah, that's been our message all year, is just finish, and we hadn't been able to finish. We've put ourselves in good positions with, like you said, we had a 4-run lead in the 9th inning and blew it. And then the next day we had a 3-run lead in the 9th and blew it. So it does hurt. And like we talked about, I have a lot of freshman arms, which are good arms, and I like, but you really don't know what you're going to get when they go out there. It's kind of flip the coin. Each day is different. But yes, the message, stay the course. That's what I tell them is, the tide's going to turn if we keep doing the things that we need to do. And that's, play defense, situational hit and throw strikes. And I think at the end of the day, you will be successful.
Listen, look in the first part of the season. You're 4-9 right now, but you played a lot of tough games. You play in a lot of tournaments. Can you kind of explain and let the people know why you do this, why you play such a tough schedule, why you're playing in Mississippi against Pearl Community College, why you're playing teams like Gulf Coast State in Mississippi to get you ready? Because right now you're trying to play for those conference games coming up later in the year.
That's right. That's what I tell my guys before the season starts. I want to try to put them up against the best competition that they'll see all year. I try to tell them that the next time you'll see this type of competition will be in Colorado.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I want them to prepare for and want to, meet that challenge. But yes, I want them to be at their best when conference starts. I tell them all the time, I don't care what our record is in preseason. When conference here, that's a season in itself. So as long as we're at our best point when conference things hits, I think we'll be in good shape.
Justin Velo, this guy he's killing the ball, man. He is right now being your best hitter. He has been on fire. Talk about his progression and seeing him coming into this year as one of your top players, leads the team in home runs, leads the team in batting average. What has he meant to have this type of start and leadership on your team?
I couldn't be happier for Justin. You know, he had a situation last year where he was ineligible, and he didn't do what he was supposed to do in the classroom. And I think he's grown up a lot, and he learned from that. And I think it's only made him a better player and a better person. And I couldn't be happier for him for what he did the fall in order to be eligible. But then again, to have the type of spring that he's having right now, I couldn't be more happy for him as a person.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think that's a point, Coach, that I think this is a message to all the high school players out there that maybe want to come to CVCC or anywhere, is that if you don't take your grades seriously, you're going to be end up sitting and watching. And I know for Justin, that could be his, kind of message to everyone out there, that it really hurt him having to miss a season. He's lead his team down. He's having to watch games that he's not even injured. He feels like he can play, but because eligibility, how important is it that these guys, because there's not like with basketball where they're playing in that first semester. They have a whole semester of not having anything but practice. How important is it to stay focused and disciplined so when the spring comes around, you can be a contributor?
It's huge. We always tell our guys, the classroom's first, because, the way we feel as a coaching staff is, what we get out of them in the classroom is basically what we're going to get every day on the field. And that's showing up every day. That's doing your work, being on time, and just being a good person. So I think all that contributes to that.
Coach, now you finished with Gordon State. You only have one home game this entire month. So we just got that yesterday. But what are some of the things you want to work on here as you finish out the month of February and get you ready for March and April and May, where a lot of those conference games are going to come up? And it seems like every weekend you're going to be playing some type of game that could be implications on standings and everything else.
Yes, and what I tell them every day is, stay the course. I think they've been preparing well. They've been playing well. They're competing well. We just hadn't won. And I know that's the name of the game, but like I tell them, just stay the course, keep doing what you do every day, and the tide will turn. You just have to keep doing the things the right way.
You play Gulf Coast State March 1st. That's the next time you'll be home here, Coach. You got at Andrew Saturday, and then next Thursday at Gordon State. You were able to beat Gordon State yesterday. I do want to talk about yesterday's game. Again, another game where you had a lead, and then it's like the floodgates opened up there at the end in the 6th and 7th inning. But then to come back, regroup, and to dominate the way you did, that's got to be a testament and make you proud as a coach, seeing that, we got smoked in the first game. We didn't let that affect us in the second game and got a big win. Yeah,
no doubt. That's good from a coaching standpoint to see that from your guys, them, taking that type of loss and then coming back and battling. And, it was a close game for a long time as well, 7-7, I think, in the 6th. Yeah. And then we kind of blew it open, whatnot. But, and like I've said all the time, is I try to tell my guys, it's that one inning we got to try to stay away from. In the first inning, it was an 8-run inning we gave up. Jeez. And I think in the second game, it was a 5-run, which we were able to overcome that. Right. But, we're playing great baseball. We got to stay away from that one inning.
Yeah, that one inning, it really could be from 4-9 to 13-0.
No doubt.
You've been in every single game. You've been playing well. Well, Coach, thank you so much. This is one of many times it's going to be a long season, and looking forward to talking to you real soon.
Thank you, man.
That is Hunter Vick of the CVCC Coach Show, the head baseball coach. We'll take a break, and we're going to wrap it up with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Coach Osteen, the softball coach, coming up next here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Introducing Gatorade Water. Alkaline and electrolyte infused for great taste. Gatorade Water, always in motion.
Welcome back to the CVCC Coach Show here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And the final one is the best for last, is Coach Osteen, the head softball coach here for a long, long time. Coach, thank you so much for joining the Coaches Show.
Thank you.
All right, Coach, let's go ahead and get into it. You've already matched your win total from last year. Obviously, again, injuries and everything else had a lot to do with how last year played out. But I've been so impressed with the way your girls, every single game, you're in it, you're battling. How do you think the season has gone so far here, the first 14 games of the season?
It's great at this point. We've had some injuries to overcome. We finished the fall with 2 with a broke hand, 1 with a broke foot, and 1 on crutches with a knee injury.
Yeah.
And we lost a couple at the break, and so we've had to do some shuffling around, and some people are in new positions and having to do new jobs. And we're still off to a 5-9 start, and we were in every ball game. We've let a couple slip away from us. But, yes, we're getting ready for conference, and we're off to a good start.
Mackenzie Childs, I want to talk
Yes.
about her, the sophomore. 5'11", 4 home runs. Every time we've called 6 games already this year on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Every single game she gets 3 to 4 hits. She is almost to the point where if I'm an opposing coach, I'm walking her. I'm not even letting her have a chance to swing. Talk about what she's done and what she's meant to the program and how her progression has been outstanding, man.
Well, Mackenzie's just an amazing kid. She's fun to be around. I can't take any credit for her hitting. She is just a natural hitter. She popped in here last year as a freshman. She was among the top 5 in the state all year long hitting. She hit 13 home runs last year. And she's just incredibly athletic, incredibly strong, but just blessed. I mean, she is as good a natural hitter as I've ever had in the 25 years I've been here.
And she's coachable too.
Absolutely.
And she's a good team leader. It just seems like she's an overall everything you want in a player coach.
She can. We haven't done any yet this year because she was one of them that suffered with a broke foot from the fall, and she's just recovered and got back into the lineup here just recently. But Mackenzie actually pitches. We just haven't had a chance to work on it because of the foot issue. She's obviously filled in for us at third and shortstop and DPing. So she's just a natural athlete, natural ball player.
Well, Coach, you're 5-9 this year. You just split with Gordon State. And talk about some of the other key contributors like Jada Odom, who's also been fantastic. Hit a home run yesterday as well.
Yeah, Jada has slid up into the top 5 in batting average in the state, and that's her first home run for the season yesterday. She hit 2 out for us last year, and she kind of came in more so as a bunter and kind of a soft hitter with using her speed. But she has really worked hard the last year and a half here, and obviously, as you saw yesterday, she's hitting as far as anybody.
And I love it, man. I love the work ethic. I love how the girls love cheering for each other. Madison McGowan, who is one of your top pitchers, what does she mean? And she's 3-4 this year, but again, she's a tough schedule here early on. She'll be one of the top pitchers at the end of the year in conference play. Talk about what she's been.
Maddie's win-loss record in no way reflects her pitching. Right off the bat, we opened up at Northeast Alabama. We lost 3-2 with her on the mound with 2 unearned runs. So she held them to basically 1 run.
Right.
And we should have won the ball game for her. Maddie right now is, I think, second in the state in strikeouts and just an amazing worker. And she's really like the team mom. She shows a maturity that's just amazing. And she was our MVP on the mound last year. And she just kind of came in unseemingly as just kind of an average ball player.
Yeah.
But once she got here and you see her attitude, her commitment, her work ethic, but most of all, her competitiveness.
Yeah.
And she did that yesterday. She got frustrated. We got off to a bad start in the second game, gave up several runs in the first inning. And as I just told her, you can't get frustrated. You got to stick it out to the end. And, of course, she's on the mound when they come back and win it 9-8 for her.
That's awesome, man. I love being able to hear stories like that. You got Andrew College. You got Calhoun coming up, Coach, this week. Both of them are at home Friday and Saturday. And then you got at Gadsden, and you wrap it up with LB Wallace. That's just here in the month of February. A ton of home games. How awesome is it to be back in your home park, not having, in which you were appreciative of all the schools that allowed you to play there. But to be here at home, I can tell it's having a positive effect mentally on the girls and yourself, knowing you can just come here and play.
It is so huge to have your own field to practice on and a new facility to play on, and the girls are very appreciative of it. It was a distraction last year.
Yeah.
And obviously, as you mentioned, we finished the month off with LBW, which starts conference for us.
Yep.
And so we're getting ready for conference play. We've had several step up and just really remarkable. So we're only 3 weeks into the season. But Whitley Harden, she's also among the top 5 right now in batting average, and she's just tearing the cover off the ball. We've got several more that are hitting the ball well. And quite honestly, Mackenzie Childs was player of the week this week. And we've already had in the first 3 weeks, Mallory Lyons was pitcher of the week a week ago.
Awesome.
So there's plenty of potential here. The kids are there. We just got to put it all together and get our hitting and our pitching all together at the same time.
And that's what you use the month of February for
That's it.
conference play, to be able to fill out your team. I do want you to give some shout outs to your assistant coaches that are there with you every single game day that help do all the little things. That it's a lot on a head coach. You got to have help, and you've got 2 great guys that help you.
I do. Coach Grady Singletary, this is his 2nd season with me.
Awesome.
But we have been friends, and I've known him since grammar school. So we've been around together a long time together. And then, of course, Caden Garman is a student manager, and he is also like a student assistant coach. He has been tremendous in helping get the kids ready to play.
Awesome.
And then, of course, you're right, the people that don't get recognized enough, the guy that does our announcing and
I love him.
keeps our stats for us.
Yeah.
Ryan Haywood, he is just a godsend for us, and he's basically through here at CV, but he's still sticking around and doing that job for us, participating with the team. And probably the most underappreciated person, Kaya Garrison, is our manager, caretaker, so to speak.
Yeah.
And she just works tirelessly and endlessly. She is constantly, for example, for the games, she fixes snacks for the girls on her own.
Wow.
Without being asked to. She is just such a caretaker, a doer, a total team contributor. And without those kind of people, you just couldn't pull this off.
No doubt about it. And by the way, speaking of Ryan, his PA announcing, that gets the girls fired up when they hear him. Alexa McCoy. I love it when Ryan does that. I love sitting with him. Coach, great start. Looking forward to talking to you many more times. Like I said with Coach Vick, this is one of many times throughout this season, and continue on the progression. Hopefully leads to maybe a conference championship.
We're ready.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Coach.
you.
That is Coach
Good to see
Osteen. Thank you to Coach Richardson. Thank you to Coach Mo Scott. Thank you to Coach Hunter Vick. It's a CVCC Coach Show on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. We'll see you next time.